Welcome everybody to the sketchbook tour of 2024. I say 2024, but really this sketchbook I think ranges from 2023 to 2024, maybe even 2022 to 2024. I tend to not use my sketchbook as much as the next person. I kind of just use it whenever I feel like it or crave it or whatever have you, and so going through even a single sketchbook of this takes a little while. That's not always the case, but it feels like that's been the case for the past couple of years. But I figured this one is full. I have already got a new one that I am very excited to fill out. It is, of course, the same one because I really like this brand of crescent. And I mean, like, my markers don't really bleed through or nothing like that. I just like the sketchbook a lot. I've been using this for a while, since college. I like the brand. It's a good brand. So that being said, I'd say we dive into it. These stickers are the Sailor Moon stickers. I can't remember from what convention. It might have been Anime Magic, I think, in Chicago. A whole little set. I really wish I had waited to get these until I got my reusable sticker book, because I love these little guys, and I wish, I had them in the sticker book where I can, I don't know, put them wherever I like, but that's okay. I mean, these are still really good here, and they're just really cute. So, first page of the sticker, I got this, I tried to plan out a Inktober month. It didn't work. This was when I was trying to do my Linktober comic series. That's why I think it was 2022. But planned it out every day, every single day laid out, and it's hard. I see now that people just plan Inktober stuff months in advance. They just draw it months in advance, and then they just post it throughout the month. Whereas I always thought you draw every single day. I thought that was the point. Here is our welcome page. I did a separate video drawing this back. I should look at the year. I should find the year. 2 years ago. Yeah, okay, it says 2 years ago, so that means 23, maybe 2023. Not as bad as I thought. So I was wrong, it's not 2022, but we did a whole little video about drawing this, just cutesy, me basically. It's just me holding a sketchbook. I like how I did the hands on this, but there's a lot of sloppiness. My sketchbook is very sloppy. I try to do finalized pieces, and sometimes they turn out good, and then other times they don't, but part of me thinks it's the point of the sketchbook. I always have our designated color tester page. I always have to see what colors are, and then I started writing them down because I just kept forgetting. Like, I see the skin tone color, and then I'm like, yeah, but what does that look like on paper? And so I always have to jot it down because I'm forgetful. We got button sketches. I'm big, for some reason, on sketching stuff out, and then I'll take a picture and like finalize it on the PC. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like my pencil sketches are always better than my computer sketches. Same here. I have a print of this kind of design. This was me testing out Posca markers. I finally bought some Posca markers, and I wanted to see how they worked on this kind of paper. Different trash panda raccoon design. I ended up going with this one, if you can't tell. Not this one, but still a cute little guy. Just a lot of sketches. Possum, a lot of different sticker sketches. Possum, kind of my aesthetic witch kind of bubble fill up stuff. I tried to do a bee and puppy cat one. I didn't like that one too much. I ended up going with the pop cat. Sketched out little Zeldas. I think this was me trying to figure out how her design would be in my Linktober comic. And so I was trying to figure that out, and then figure out like a little daughter of them or something, Enamel pin backgrounds. I remember when I ordered this. This is a friend of mine, our lovely editor, Kinsey. They sketched this in the sketchbook at some point. We've got a Splatoon print that never really made it past this phase. I think this was me trying to think that it would be really cute if I had the whole crew swimming at the beach or something, even though technically, squids die when they get into water, according to lore. And then we have the first page of Linktober. Now, I do low-key, high-key kind of wish I stuck it out this way, even though this took a lot of work because it's just a lot of coloring and a lot of marker usage. And then I ended up changing this into sketching it separate and then taking a picture and coloring it on the computer on Photoshop because it was just quicker. But I've said this before, there's something really nice like flipping through this and then seeing, you know, like you're reading a comic book, because this is like such a nice book format. And I think my original plan was to have all of it colored, but you can tell I colored the first day and I did not color the second day. You can tell I separated the days by this one being called Linktober Bones and then this one being called Linktober Miniature. And I tried to tell the story of Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild, their links swapping spaces or swapping spots. This is before Tears of the Kingdom came out, but I still used Tears of the Kingdom or Zelda's short hair design because that's, I think they had shown that trailer well in advance for that, and I loved it. I'm in love with short hair Zelda. It is so good. So good. But I was always fascinated with the idea of, you know, Skyward Sword Link coming to Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild Zelda's rescue, and her being confused of like, how do you know my name? And I did miniature. I did a little Minish Cap, you know, throw in right there because I had recently played that game and I was in love with it. But even then, I don't ink in black anymore. I normally ink in purple or like this pink color if you can't tell, and then I remember doing this in black so that I could take a picture and it go into Photoshop easier. I really like inking. I think inking is a really fun stage. This just makes me want to do more comics. See, I complain about them taking forever, and then when I do them, I feel like they're so strong. I don't know, maybe I'm just saying that. I never really went to college for comic books. But this is just me having the feels. I thought it'd be sweet if like Skyward Sword Link always, you know, said that any Zelda, any iteration of Zelda is like his Zelda, and like he loves and will take care of her, you know, regardless. He's enamored and like he's not afraid to show it. I think in my mind, Skyward Sword, Link and Zelda were like obviously meant to be and stuff like that, and then Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda and Link had their troubles and their struggles, and like they were still trying to work out their stuff going on. So that's why she, you know, this Zelda was more like, I don't know what's up with this guy. I don't know if I can trust you, whatever. Trying to figure out like, where is her Link? Where is he at? And this kind of goes on for, I don't know how many days. It looks like 11. I think I got out to 11, which is pretty good. Considering I was doing this every day. I didn't plan any of it in advance, which is kind of whack. But I finished this little first scene with Skyward Sword, Link, and Tears of the Kingdom Zelda, and then I cut to, you know, Tears of the Kingdom Link waking up in the Skyward Sword bed, and I tried to mimic like their style houses, and all he remembers is like the final, you know, the fight that they just did, and wakes up confused. Where is he? Sees a picture of a daughter, comes out, and there's Skyward Sword, and he's confused and scared, and you know, the daughter comes in and is, you know, like, oh, what's up? Why are you like this, Dad? Calls him Scruffy. If I redid this, I would definitely maybe change his arm. I think I would change the whole thing to be a lot more Tears of the Kingdom-ish. I don't remember if the trailer had come out where they had given his hair down, or if I just drew it like that. I don't really recall. You can tell I sketched out this next chapter of them basically flying, heading to, I can't remember where they were supposed to be heading, but Zelda's just telling him what's all happening. I blocked out some things, wrote some bubbles, and then just never, I mean, it's hard. It's hard trying to do this once a day. I should have plotted this out, which I did, but, you know, sketched it out a little bit better in advance. And I don't know, part of me thinks I want to kind of redo this and kind of make it fair and true. I feel like there's so many Zelda and Link universe interaction, blah, 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 that it's not very original, but I remember really being excited about this story because I really like both of those games. So, I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it. We'll see. Hand study, trying to figure out how to want to do hands, more cartoony hands. Practicing some different side profiles, kind of cartoonish. This was me plotting out kind of like a little just small 4 couple panel comic to post on Instagram about the misadventures of Eric and I's life. It's really funny because I would sketch out just a couple important stuff, and then the rest of this is just stick figures because I'm just trying to capture exactly what I wanted to do. I think this one I mostly just did it digital on Clip Studio. Did another one here with my cat Milk, and another one where I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, this time for sure, and I was surprised because there was like one of the scenes in the beginning, so I was just trying to sketch out my emotions there. I appreciate it. I like the unfinished rough, really rough around the edges stick figure sketching and vague eyeballs and vague body poses and stuff like that. I'm just trying to get the idea down. If it's one thing I remember learning in college, in art college, is when you do thumbnails, you don't want them to be perfect. You're just trying to get the rough idea and the rough sketching down. Over here, I think I was testing out more Posca markers. Drew a little March. I think I started playing Honkai Star Whale and really loved it. More sketches. I never did this one, but this was supposed to be, the red pencil doesn't really pick up well on camera, but this was just a little comic joke about Eric saying that my knees were ashy, and we were literally about to leave the house to go grocery shop, and I was like, no, I gotta go put on lotion. You can't say my knees are ashy and then just like expect me to live with myself. Pillow Queen, that was a sticker. Oh, and then season 2 of Good Omens came out, and so I wanted to see how I would draw them in my style. And this was really kind of fun and interesting because I don't really draw old people, and struggled a little bit with Aziraphale, but had a lot of fun. I never posted these. I feel like I'm supposed to post, or I should post. Like, you can tell I thought about inking it and posting it, and then I just like stopped. I wonder if I should post stuff like that. I don't know. Oh, and then we got, okay, so if this was Linktober 2023, and then this is Inktober 2024. So this was last year. This year I decided to go with my OTP ships, and these are a lot like more finalized. I think I bought new like gel colored pens that I really liked. So this whole first 2 pages are just straight up Ace Attorney. They're just straight up Ace Attorney. Of course, we have Oran High School Host Club. I love them. And then throwback to me as a kid, loving Rock Lee. I have the biggest crush on Rock Lee. I just can't help it. I don't know. I just always thought he was really sweet. I always thought, don't hate me, I always thought him and Sakura would have been really sweet together. But then I also really love the ship of him and Gaara, so I can swing both ways. You see some cats. I was just trying to sketch out some ideas for cat pins. Skyward Sword, Zelda Link, of course. Vegeta Bulma, of course, because I love them too. This is kind of a niche maybe, but Don't Starve Together. I really like Wes and Wilson. It's a strange ship, but it's something that I do particularly like. I don't know. Splatoon, of course. Big into Splatoon, big to my childhood. Conan Kids Next Door, number 3 and number 4, I thought they were cute. Hitalia, because if I sat here and said I didn't like Hitalia, I'd be a liar, you know, growing. That was a big phase in my anime career, I remember. Also, I became very sweet for Bowser and Peach. Hear me out. There was a couple different artists I followed, or I do follow on Instagram, that draw like the cutest Bowser Peach combo, and I was like, oh, I'm sold. I'm kind of sold on this. And then, you know, the Super Mario came out, and then Bowser and Luigi was a thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm sold on that too. I'm sold on all of it. So that's as far. I obviously didn't finish the month. I just, if I'm better and I'm I need to start prepping. I don't know. I also think the whole thing of Inktober has kind of fallen flat over the years, I've noticed, so I'm not too, I don't get too worried about it. These are some freebies. I was sketching out some freebie stickers for when people order certain stuff off of my Etsy or my main shop, and I wanted to use my cat icon Catty, little Catty. Oh, I worked on this. This was supposed to be part of the Inktober that I didn't finish. That's the Owl House. I think I remember finishing the series that year and really loving it. Over here we have Yakuza. I was trying to figure out how to draw Kiryu. He's a hunk of a man, and I don't really draw hunk men often, so I was like, I need to learn, and I want to do him justice. And I learned that he's just a triangle. Broad shoulders, tiny waist. I got a little Majima. Majima approves, because I love Majima. Just more Kiryu. I was using this really sparkly gel pen that I really like. You can tell the shine is kind of there. The bean. I was trying to learn about the bean shape. A lot of dumb practice. I think whenever I'm trying to practice dynamic poses or stuff like that, I like to use a pen because then I don't feel, which is silly, but I don't feel so pressured to like if I get something wrong. And I don't know, I like how it looks. Okay, here comes OC development. I wanted really badly last year to work on and create something with my OCs. I didn't, but I did have a lot of fun trying to figure out. I knew I wanted this robot character. I didn't know if I wanted to go my life as a teenage robot route. I tried, I don't really remember what the inspiration for this one was. I think this was Genos, kind of from One Piece. These are just full, this one's for Stray. I remember trying to sketch out maybe some screen ideas of Stray, seeing if I like that. Yeah, I went, you know, there were some of these I kind of like a detective or something. You can tell I kind of just put all the men characters that I like and have a crush on, and I put them in a bag and I shook it up and I was like, shoo, let's see what we got. And then I was developing my female caddy a lot better. I've had, her design has swapped a lot. I'm kind of torn because Caddy has been a character that I've liked drawing for a long time, but it's kind of tricky because she rides too close to that borderline of, is it just me? Like, am I just drawing myself? And I was like, no, I want to make her like a different thing. So I tried to kind of push her more into a 90s or even 80s vibe with really kind of big, curly, floofy hair that's going to be always in a ponytail. I thought maybe it'd be cute if it was pulled to one side, but I don't know. Nice earrings or just like really clunky, different style earrings. Something really cutesy. Tried seeing if I liked the side bangs or full bangs. I think I ended up going with kind of a part that would just always change because I feel like you see that in cartoons a lot. Like it doesn't matter. It just always goes from one side or the other depending on how you're looking at it. Never did anything. I kind of figured out a style for her and then I kind of left it. This was me trying to see how she looked besides possible robot. Why is there a character from this era with a robot? I haven't figured that out yet. I'm really bad at story planning, if you can't tell. I can figure out characters, I can figure out how they look, and you know, Eric told me maybe that's just what needs to drive it. You just see how the personalities are and then don't stress too much, because I was worried about like, oh, what's the story? What story am I trying to tell? What is the motif and the meaning and the purpose and you know, all this stuff, and it's like, you don't have to always worry about that, I guess. So, I don't know. This is more kind of sketching them out, seeing how they feel. Pretty good. I don't know. I might still tweak him a little bit. He doesn't even, I don't even know if I give him a name. I've got Caddy, but I don't think I've ever given, technically, him a name. Sketching out Bob's Burgers. I don't know why, just more Bob's Burgers sketch. More of my character debating about trying to give him some kind of chin or something, if I like how that looks. Did I do that on this page? No, I went with like this kind of thing, but I was testing out maybe some kind of thing that looks like beard or something. Okay, and this is where Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out, and I wanted to sketch out a couple funny things while I was playing it, so technically this is a little mini comic I did, and I posted it I think on Instagram and on Tumblr. So just cute, just Aerith and Cloud, you know, sharing love for little red paws, and Tifa picking on Cloud for you know, what meat does he not like, and things like that. I thought it was sweet. to me, it seemed like Cloud looked over at Tifa when he won the fight and the golden saucer. So just small little things in my little mind that I was like, ooh. So here we've got Warrior Cats. I picked back up reading the Warrior Cats series. I've always loved Warrior Cats. Warrior Cats has been just like a really great book series to me. I know it's childish and like there's a lot of bad, it's not written the best, but I love this series and I've been collecting the books, and so this was me drawing the protagonist from for me saying I read the books, I should remember what series and like what the main arc is called, but it's Nightheart and Sunbeam and Squirrel Flight became Squirrel Star. And then over here was me trying to figure out more pin ideas. I knew that I wanted to get some more enamel pins made, and I knew I wanted to do kind of like a grab bag, mystery bag. I couldn't decide if I want to do cats or a cow, and I was trying to figure out, and then I'm like, well, if I want the cats, I don't want them to be kind of normal. I want them to be kind of funky because I feel like my style and brand is just very kooky and funky, and I was figuring out different fandoms to do and different theme ideas of food and things and all sorts of that stuff. And then we jump right back to OCs apparently. My sketchbook is not consistent, but I will say, I like this one. This was my first colored page of OCs to see how they reacted or like how they kind of looked side by side with the color scheme. I still think he could change maybe, but I like the idea. I kind of made it so his, eye colors would change depending on emotion, which I kind of like that touch. And I'm just a sucker for, I just like that trope in general of like stoic, mean to everybody, but is sweet to the girl that likes him, I haven't decided, will he be a bad guy? Will he turn good? I don't know. I could not tell you. I don't have a story. I just have this. And then I have another sketch of him, of them both over here faintly that you can see. I have this nice red pencil that I like to use often for sketches, really. Ooh, and then we have Echoes of Wisdom came out. So Echoes of Wisdom came out right when we finally moved to Germany this past summer. And I sketched it out because I just loved it. I just loved it. Actually, you know what? I think the trailer came out and then I drew this because I love the trailer. Like I hadn't even played the game yet, but I just loved this so much and I was like, I just really want to sketch Zelda and figure out like how she would look in my style, and then use some Posca markers on it in the background. And I don't know, I like it. I like how this turned out a lot. I think she's spunky. I would love to cosplay as this Zelda. And then over here we've got the pins. So remember we've been working on these little cat pins. Here we have some rough ideas and rough sketches of what they could be if they would look a certain way. So I was like, oh, mountain. If I did zigzag, I kept thinking like, ooh, zig cat, zigzag cat, ziggy kitty, something like that. And try to look at different things. If I did weather, if I did food, spoilers, food won out. Double spoilers, I've already ordered them and I do have them here with me technically. This was 2024. These years are whack. This was the past one because I was like, oh, I'll do like just a doodle sheet of Inktober, and then I didn't, obviously. I did like 4 doodles of Linktober and then I just never came back to it because it's just hard. It's hard. And then this is me trying to figure out how I would draw Momo, and you can tell when I give up on something because I just say you and then I don't even finish it. And then, I did do Momo. So this was after I figured out how she looks. It just kills me because you go from these pages that are kind of empty or just like really sketchily sketched, and then you're like, boom, full colored. Started watching Dan. I loved it. I loved Momo as a character. I loved her as a protagonist. I've started collecting the manga. So I believe that's it. I guess I technically didn't finish it because there's this last page, but that is the whole sketchbook from the year, I'm gonna say 2022 to 2024, because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. I don't know, it's nice. I like my sketchbooks. I like the mix of, you know, random half-finished sketches to suddenly full-colored, you know, pictures of characters to comics to studies to whatever it is. I feel like that's what a sketchbook should be. So this is another one for the books to add. I might still go back and do, you know, the comic thing or not, but this is another one to add to my little bookshelf of all my past sketchbooks. You know, I do have some. I've only done one other video of like a sketchbook tour. I've got sketchbooks older than this one and then the other sketchbook I've done. If y'all want to see them, I mean, they're like old, you know, they're not new at all, and I can't guarantee anything in there is going to be good at all. But I think sometimes it is very humbling and it's very endearing, and I'm a nostalgic person, so I like reminiscing and seeing my old stuff and then seeing the progress and seeing how I've improved and things like that. We'll probably do another video of a welcoming page for this sketchbook. Technically, spoilers, I've already sketched in it, but don't look. Don't see it. You do not see it. I do not see it. But I'll probably get one of these going out in a couple weeks or so. We'll kind of just have to wait and see. You know, these videos just happen when they happen. So regardless though, I appreciate everybody sticking around and checking out this sketchbook. I'm glad it's done. I like to do these videos. They're fun. They're just fun. I like flipping back through my stuff. So y'all have a good rest of your day. I'll see you around. Bye.